Hey guys, Chef Monica here. Hope you guys liked making the lasagna. And today's video is going to be a mac and cheese. We're going to make an elevated mac and cheese. No more are you guys going to make craft dinner. You're going to make your own awesome mac and cheese. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a bag of elbow pasta. Then we're going to use Black Diamond Old Cheddar. I like using Old Cheddar because it'll give a stronger cheesy flavor. You can use any brand if you can find it. No Name, Black Diamond, I think there's Armstrong as well. Then we have some Parmesan cheese because we're going to really bump up that cheese flavor. And then we're going to have some butter. You can buy the big block of butter, but if you can't find those and you find the individual ones that come 4 in a pack, we're going to take one and we're going to use almost close to half. We're going to use about 3 tablespoons. So it'll be like somewhere over here for 3 tablespoons. And then we're going to use our flour because that is what's going to thicken our sauce. Then we're going to have whipping cream, 35%. We're going to have some milk because we'll use that to thin down the sauce if it gets too thick. Then I have a pretty close to a small medium-sized onion. We're going to use half this and it's going to be a very small fine dice. Then we're going to mince 1 clove of garlic for our flavorings. Now, if you wanted to make a baked mac and cheese, these are the ingredients you're going to need. So in this bag from Bulk Barn, we're going to have panko crumbs. If you don't have panko crumbs, you can use breadcrumbs or you can make a mixture of both. It depends what you have on hand. Then we're going to use some parsley flakes, some garlic powder. In this jar I have onion powder. Then we're going to use, for a little bit of color, we're going to use some paprika. And then whatever leftover cheese, we're going to grate some and we're going to mix it into this mixture. So then next we're going to do what you're going to need to make your mac and cheese. So we're going to have a chef's knife, we're going to have a cutting board, we're going to have a wooden spoon, we're going to have a whisk. Then I just have a couple of bowls. Just, if we need them, then we have them. We have a strainer for the pasta. Then on my oven, I have 1 pot that's going with salted water for the pasta. And then the other one is going to be for our sauce. So they're about medium-sized pots because, you know what, we're going to dump everything into the 1 pot that's got the sauce so that there's not too much mess. And then if you're going to make the baked mac and cheese, then you would need a casserole dish that would go into the oven. So we're going to get started with our pasta. Okay guys, so here is our pot and it's come to a boil. Now we're going to cook our pasta. So I'm going to use the whole bag of pasta. So we're just going to pop it in. And then just give it a quick little stir. So that everything is mixed in. And what we'll do is we'll time this for about 10 minutes. And get it all nicely cooked. And then we'll come back, and in the meantime what you'll do is you'll finely dice your onion and mince your garlic while this is cooking, and then we'll come back to when it's ready to go. Okay guys, so I'm almost finished cooking my pasta. And it's looking pretty good. I've put a timer on just in case I'm busy with other things, I can judge my time. So basically, in the time that this has been cooking, I have minced my garlic and I small diced my onion. I'll just show you. So what I like to look for is, this is my finely diced onion, really small. That way there's no big chunks in the sauce, because there's some things you want big pieces of onion or vegetables, and sometimes you just want it there, but you don't want to kind of feel it. Then my minced garlic is right beside it, because that's what we're going to use. Okay, I'm going to turn my timer off and check my pasta. So what I do is I'll take one and I'll test it. Oh, perfect. It's soft, not overcooked, because you don't want it really mushy, but you just want a nice little bite to your pasta, because you don't want to have it too soft and then it just literally disintegrates in your mouth. I also, in the time, grated my cheese, so I have about, looks like 2.5 to 3 cups of grated cheese, which was almost close to 3/4 of that block of cheese. So all that's ready for the sauce. So what I'll do is, let me show you. So sorry if anybody's motion sickness. So in the sink I put my strainer, and then I'm going to strain out my pasta, and then I'll show you what I do. Let me put you back. So put you there. So I'm going to take this off the oven. Grab my tea towel. And grab from both sides. Draining your pasta of all the water. Then I'm using the pot again. I'm going to put our pasta back in the pot. And then I have handy some olive oil. I'm going to drizzle a little bit onto the pasta. Grab my spoon, and then you're just going to mix the oil into the pasta, because we're going to put this to the side and we're going to make our sauce now. So I put the oil because it'll stop it from sticking, and then that's ready for the next bit. So I'm going to move this, and then we'll get started on our sauce. Okay guys, so now I'm going to start on our sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my oven on. Of course, it's not going to wait. There we go. Boom. So I'm going to put it to medium heat to help that warm up. So then I'm going to take my stick of butter, and on the side it has, so like 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and then they have one that's an 1/8 cup, which is 30 mils. So we're going to cut that in half to get our 3 tablespoons. So we're going to cut right in half there so that we can get the 3 tablespoons. Now I'm going to put our 3 tablespoons into the pot. We're going to let that melt. Okay, so as it's melting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding our onions and garlic. And put that in. Butter gets incorporated into the butter. So we're not going to be coloring the onions and garlic. We're just going to get it nicely soft and translucent. Okay. So now I just turned it down to about medium-low so that we're not overcooking the butter or the onions and garlic. And then we now add our flour, because what we're doing with the butter and the flour becomes a roux, and a roux is our thickening agent for the sauce. So we did 3 tablespoons of butter, so we're going to do 3 tablespoons of flour, and we get that a mix, and you see that it's going to start getting thick and clumpy all together. And what you're going to do is you're going to let that cook out for a couple minutes, because you want to cook out the flour. You don't want to taste flour in your sauce. So we're going to let that do its thing for a couple minutes. In the meantime, I'll get my cream ready. So don't forget to move it around a little bit, just so that it doesn't burn. And what we'll do is we're going to switch from our wooden spoon to ours. And I got it ready about 2 cups of cream. Normally what you would do is you get another pot and you would warm up your cream on the side, which you can do if you like, but you don't want to overheat it, because then it'll come out of the pot. So I like to just add it into additions into the pot myself. This is just something that I do myself, but it varies from people to people. So I'm just going to put a little in first, let that get warmed up, and you start whisking the cream. So you see it's starting to get a little thick. So we're going to do like that. I'm going to add a little bit more. So now see, it's thick, but it's starting to come loose. So then we're going to add a bit more, the rest of it. Okay. I'll let that go. warm up. And then I'm gonna add probably 2 cups of milk. I want a little bit more sauce. So I'm just get my milk. Milk to it, which is basically another 2 cups all together. So we're gonna let this cook for a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll do the cheese. Okay guys, so this is not as thick as I would like it to be, so I'm gonna actually show you another type of roux. So while this is nice and warm, so basically I've made another roux, but this time I've used flour and oil, and we're gonna put that in to the mixture with the milk and the cream, and we're gonna thicken it up. So when I write my final recipe for you guys, it'll have different, I'll increase the ingredients so that you guys don't have to worry about adding. But I just wanted to show you another version of a roux, and it'll help thicken up as you're cooking, because you don't have to worry about the butter melting or anything like that. It's already, the fat is your oil. So as you can see, as it's cooking, it's thickening up now a little bit better than the butter. But when you do this, I'll tell you how much butter to actually use and the flour, so that you could get this type of consistency. Almost there. I'm going to open this stove and then show you on the back of the stove what it should kind of look like. So there it is on the spoon, and basically what you want to be able to do is run your finger and not come into each other. So go back to the sauce. Okay? So you want it to just stay aligned. You don't want the line to disappear again. If it disappears again, you need it to make it a little bit thicker. But this is perfect. It's nice and thick. And now we're gonna add our cheese. And what we'll do is, I turned it up a little bit more, but we'll put it back down to like medium. See, look at how wonderful, nice and thick. So then we're gonna add our cheddar cheese. Boom. Let's go get it all out. So I'll just pat it in. Whisk it in. Now it's not going to be like Kraft Dinner where you have that really super orange color. It'll turn orange, as you can see, but it's going to be a lighter color. I'm going to add about maybe 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Big heaping spoons, actually. I like my cheese. So stir that in. And quickly give that a taste. Just to make sure it doesn't taste like flour. So good. I like it like this. What I might do is just put a little bit of the cracked pepper. And then a little bit of salt. Not a lot of salt, because you get a lot of salt from the Parmesan cheese. I like using the real Parmesan cheese. Kraft cheese, the Kraft Parmesan that you get in the aisle is good, but it's so filled with chemicals that you're just eating chemicals, and you guys deserve to eat great quality cheese. So good. So now I'm gonna put my pasta into here, and then we'll finish it off by making the baked mac and cheese. Let me get my spoon. Take out the whisk. I'm gonna turn down the heat to low just to keep it warm. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our pasta that we oiled earlier. It will stick to itself, but it won't be as bad as if you just left it without putting oil. So just give it a little mix just to break up any big lumps. And then into the pot we go. Now, if you didn't want to do the baked mac and cheese, you could just put it in the sauce and mix it up and serve it as is. But if you really wanted to make people go, ooh, ah, serve them baked mac and cheese. So, it's all mixed. Almost kind of looks like we're making Rice Krispies. Okay. And then we'll get the casserole dish, and then I'll show you how to make your crumb coat. Okay guys, so we're gonna make our breading for the baked mac and cheese. So I took about 1 cup of the panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to put it into a bowl here. And then I'm going to grate some of the cheddar cheese that I have left over into the bowl with the panko. Because who doesn't like cheese? Come on. So we're going to make it cheesy, cheesy, cheesy. So then we're going to go like that. Tap it away, and then we're just gonna mix it in with the panko to get it coated. I'll probably end up putting more cheese because I'm all about the cheese. And then I'm gonna grab probably a nice heaping tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, because the cheese will bubble up in our oven and make a nice crispy coating on the top. So we're just gonna mix that in. So then we're gonna take our parsley flakes and we're just gonna generously put in. So probably, that would probably be like a teaspoon of parsley. So then we'll probably do the same thing with our garlic powder. Get out some garlic powder, like so. And then we'll do the onion powder. Same thing. And then same for paprika, because we're just adding color. Probably let's go with paprika because we don't want a lot. We'll go with half a teaspoon, like so, into that. Put these to the side, and we'll give that a mix. Great. Get it all mixed together. And I put on my oven 400 because we want to high heat because we want to melt the top layer. You can even broil it, but if you just want the top done. But I'm doing 400. So I'm going to put that to the side, and then I'm going to put my mac and cheese here because we're going to fill our dish. And doesn't that look awesome? You guys are going to have so much fun making this. Now, if you want to make a mac and cheese that kind of tastes like nachos, then I would add probably some chili powder to the mix. So I probably do a quarter teaspoon, no more than half a teaspoon. It depends on how much heat you like. So you put that in when you do like your salt and pepper, and mix that up. You can even, if you really like sriracha, I know people that put sriracha on their mac and cheese. But it just depends on who you're with and what they like. Because I'm making this for some kids, some young kids. They're not really into like hot stuff and stuff. So we're just keeping it normal. So I'm going to dish this bad boy into hot. So we're just going to use my slotted spoon for now. And we're just going to put it in. It smells so good. Can't wait. So once again, so if you don't want to do the baked mac and cheese, you would stop and just serve in bowls. But you can also add, so you can make it nacho or something called truffle. You can add some truffle oil or truffle paste, and it just gives it a way different flavor. But I don't have any. Well, actually, let me see. I might have truffle oil that I can show you if I can find it. I have it. That's not it. Moved it on me. Oh. Yeah. Found it. So this would be truffle oil. So basically it's made with this type of, it's almost like a potato and a mushroom. And it just has this really earthy smell. It's actually really delicious as a paste, but you can find that in the grocery store, but it's about $14 a bottle like this. If you can find the small jars of paste, I would rather use that in the mac and cheese. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our crumb on the top. So you just put it on. If you have more, then you can make, this would be even good as a make-ahead meal. Because you can make it, put it into the freezer, and just like the lasagna, pull it out, put it into the oven for half an hour or so, and then trying to get a good coating of the mix. If you don't use it all, it's okay. But you can always, if you've got a bowl, you can always throw it on top, chuck it into the oven on a broil, and do it that way. So my oven's at 300 right now, so we're gonna wait. Just put a little bit more. So make it thick. Try to get it all the way to the sides. So try to cover as much as you can, but you don't want to fill the container too high so that when you put your crumb, it'll end up cooking over. So I've left a little bit of space. There you go. That's our coating. So now I'm gonna put it into the 400-degree oven for probably, I'm gonna get 10 to 15 minutes because I'm gonna watch it go golden brown. You're basically wanting to melt the cheese, and then I'll show you the finished product once my oven comes to temp. Okay guys, so here is my baked mac and cheese. So what I did is, so I heated the oven up at 400 degrees, and then I did that for about 8 minutes. And then what I did is I turned it to broil, and then I did it for another 2 or 3 minutes, just so that we can get the nice golden brown color to our panko. And that's pretty much the baked mac and cheese. If you don't want to do the topping or whatever, then just straight out of the pot into some bowls and enjoy. So I hope you like this video, and I hope to see some of your cooking. Thanks guys, see you in the next one.